Episode 331. Today we're talking about the hardest NHL goalies to score on in the league. So I saw something that was interesting yesterday, and it just made me reminisce my time over the summer working as a goalie instructor and having more familiarity with the goalies and working down on the goalie end. And then being able to read this article where it talks about all the goalies in the league who are really tough to score on. And obviously, some of the names come up. There's Andrei Vasilevsky, there's Connor Hellebuyck, there's Shesterkin, there's Ilya Sorokin, and then Sergei Bobrovsky's in that mix. Like, there's a ton of names when you're talking about the modern day NHL goalie who they can bring a butterfly style of play, but also bring a stand-up style of play that's elite. And I think you have to have both nowadays. You have to bring both components to be an elite goalie. You have to be agile moving across your crease. You have to move post to post quickly. You have to be able to just be all around effective. And many of these goalies nowadays are. And some of the goalies that are named, they're also very effective come playoff time too, which is also a rarity because sometimes these goalies, they're just good in regular season, but they kind of diminish in the playoffs. And I think one that comes to mind is Hellebuck in that sense. But so many other goalies, they find a way to elevate their games, and I think that's what the best players do, and they find a way to do it regularly. So when it comes to the best goalie in the league, it's really tough to say because you could argue it's Connor Hellebuyck or Vasilevsky. I think I'm torn between those two as my best goalies, just because of the way they play. Their size is a major factor in that sense too. The ability to get post to post quickly, the ability to extend. They have a large wingspan that many of the smaller, I wouldn't say smaller, but smaller-ish goalies relative to their size don't necessarily have. I think that's what makes Connor Hellebuyck and Andrei Vasilevsky more of like a 1A, 1B. I think Vasilevsky separates himself because he's one, and that's a major driving factor too. So you could argue, and I still think Vasilevsky's the best goalie in the league right now, but just the way he plays, the way he's able to use that agility in tandem with his ability to use that glove side, be active with that glove side. He's very active with his reads. So he knows how to move post to post quickly, really good in the reverse VH. He's good at sliding and making those small shuffles, like going post to post too. Hellebuyck is too. I just think with Vasilevsky, there's a little more detailed movement in terms of how he's able to track those pucks and seal down that post on a regular basis. I think Hellebuck's still elite at being able to make saves and being able to deflect pucks away from dangerous areas and just being able to be a guy who can look bigger in the net regularly. Like he's not afraid to challenge guys. He's not afraid to be aggressive in the crease. He's not afraid to throw a hit or whatever. And I still think Vasilevsky, though, just the way he plays, the way he looks on TV, and the way he is able to use that size to his advantage come playoff time as well, is something that's a major driving factor in terms of how he's able to play. And he's 6'4" too. That's another big component. He's 6'4", extremely agile. He knows how to read his posts. He knows how to anticipate and he knows how to extend his blocker side and be active with that blocker side. Not over rotating, but just being nice and active with it the whole way through. And I think he's done a really good job of that. He's done a pretty regular job of being able to shut guys down. And again, he can do it in the playoffs. He can do it in the regular season. He can do it in any situation. So he's a player that certainly stands out. And there's obviously a lot more names too that we can include on here. Like Jake Ottinger's another one. Jake Ottinger, I think you can argue he's a little more underrated of that mix. And you could argue Thatcher Demko. I wouldn't necessarily consider him the top goalie, but you can argue Jeremy Swayman is more of a top 10 goalie in the league. I think there's a lot of names out there that just they're so nuanced and they bring a cerebral style of play. Like they can play hybrid styles. They can be active at just being able to slide post to post, really good with their hockey sense and their reads and their glove side. I think goalies' glove sides are better today than they were 10 years ago too. They're more active with those glove side reads. They know how to shut guys down in that sense. And they have a really good understanding of how to be able to make those reads regularly. So when it comes to being able to do that, I think that Vasilevsky's still the best goalie in the league. He's still able to make those reads, and he just does a really good job being able to shut guys down regularly. And few goaltenders in the league have the ability to take control of a game, but he's one of them that certainly has that ability to do it on a regular basis too.